Can ChatGPT really analyze an investment property? We're going to find out on this week's episode of Investing in Bryan and College Station, Texas, your go to channel for growing your wealth through real estate in my favorite towns of Bryan and College Station, Texas. Guys, stay tuned for this episode. We are going to dive into the depths of ChatGPT and see if, with very minimal input, it can let us know whether or not a house cash flows. Even better, I'm going to use a house that's currently on the market. So if you like the numbers that ChatGPT is spitting out, maybe you could make an offer. If you are interested, of course, you can contact me. All my information is in the details and description below. Some quick highlights on the house before we jump in. The subject property for this is going to be 1316 McQueeny Drive. I didn't pick it at random. I picked it for a number of reasons. It's listed by Andrea Kitzman, who's a really great Keller Williams agent, and her and her team do a wonderful job with listings. They also priced it really aggressively under what I consider market value. So it is a 1,700 square foot house listed at just under $290,000. Now it's going to be very hard to find a newer built house at that price per square foot. It's also in an area of town I really like. In College Station, they call this the Midtown area. It's a part of town that the city's really putting a lot of money into. We're seeing a lot of development. It's also a newer built house being built in 2020, according to the interwebs here. Let's jump into the pictures. It does have a two-car garage, LVP flooring, open concept with a large living room. The dining room is a nice space. The kitchen has white cabinets built by Kentmore, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances. It has a large pantry, gas stove cooktop, large primary bedroom, dual vanity with the soaking tub and the shower in the primary bath, secondary living space that's great as a playroom or secondary living room. And then the two bedrooms are of decent size. And then they, of course, share the secondary bathroom, again, nicely appointed with the granite vanity top, white cabinets, and the tile surround. And then to tie it all off, you've got a good sized backyard with a privacy fence and a small but covered back porch. So that's the house. Let's jump in and see if it's a decent investment. All right, let's jump into ChatGPT and see what it can do for us. First off, let's see if it can pull the listing information that we just looked at for 1316 McQueeny Drive. All right, it does its thinking, searches the web, and price $170 per square foot. Kind of pertinent. I was kind of more hoping to have the actual asking price. Square footage looks accurate, bedroom, bathroom count, lot size, year built, the style, exterior, the fact that it's a slab, the HOAs look correct, school districts seemed about right, taxes look good, and the maintenance fee, which they're just referring back to the HOA fee. They're pulling all this off of Redfin and some sort of Coldwell Banker website, but yeah, it looks pretty accurate. So next, we're going to type in here and see if it has the actual asking price. Of course, it was missing it. Yep, $289,250 looks accurate. So now, if I don't have typos, the question is going to be, do you know what similar homes are renting for in that neighborhood? Fix my spelling error. Thank you, Grammarly. And looks like they're selling for around $325. And in terms of rent range, it's pointing out some homes that are selling or renting for $1,800 to $2,200 per month. And that's actually pretty accurate. I did a CMA on this, and from what I can tell, I think we could probably get 23 to 24, but realistically, this is a good conservative number, so thank you, ChatGPT. Now we're going to get a little more complex. Can it analyze that property as a long-term buy and hold? Of course, we're interested in cash-on-cash return. Annual appreciation. annual debt pay down. We'll have a loan on this house. But I don't know what it needs to make that analysis. So I asked ChatGPT, what do you need to know from me to do the analysis I'm asking you to do? And so ChatGPT throws me a few questions. What's going to be the purchase price, closing cost, how we're going to finance it, what kind of income are we expecting, what the expenses are that we want for this analysis. And honestly, what they give here all seems pretty within reason about how I would analyze a property. So for the most part, we're going to use the recommendations that they have. This is just me confirming the asking price. Again, $289, $250. We're going to assume a 3% down, or sorry, 3% closing cost. We're going to assume 3% closing cost. So we're going to do 20% down. We're going to ask ChatGPT to actually give us the current interest rate and then use a 30-year amortized loan. Because I presumably might not know what the rate is. I'm going to push this to the higher end at $2,300 per month in rental income. 5% vacancy seems about right. We'll use ChatGPT's estimation of property taxes and $1,500 for insurance just kind of feels right. It's always best to talk to an insurance provider. These things change very frequently, and I imagine it'd probably be pretty hard for Mr. GPT to determine what the insurance would be on your particular property. Lastly, we'll use 1% of the purchase price on it as an annual maintenance budget and 5% property management. So naturally, it's having to do a pretty large computation here, so it's trying to figure everything out, put it all together, figure out what calculations to use. But in just a few seconds, ChatGPT is going to run all the numbers. It's laying out all the assumptions for us. And then boom, it starts telling us about our total annual expenses, our total annual cash flow, how much money we'll have to invest, our upfront capital, $66,527.50, our cash on cash return, which is negative, our annual appreciation at 4%. It pulled that number up. I didn't. It's actually a little bit low for our market, but I use 4% also. Principal pay down in the first year of $2,510. It talks about negative cash flow. It talks about negative cash on cash return. It talks about the annual appreciation being $11,000 and the debt pay down at $2,500. Ultimately, what I just highlighted there was that the appreciation and debt pay down could provide long-term value. Adjustments in financing terms, reducing expenses, or increasing rental income might improve the investment's viability. Is ChatGPT perfect? Absolutely not. Does it take prompting to get the answers you want out of it? Yes. Should you verify all the numbers that it provides to you and all the analysis? 100% you should always verify what ChatGPT gives you. But I do think that it's going to be a great tool going forward to help us analyze properties, compare properties, pull data. At a minimum, it's a good use on the go. So if you have the ChatGPT app on your phone, I would definitely use it. If you want to know more how I and my clients will be using AI to help us analyze and buy investment properties, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next time, you take it easy.